welcome. This is Sandra Hart again with Life Over 60. I'm so happy that you decided to join me today. It's a beautiful day here in South Beach. The sun is shining, the temperature is in the low 70s, and it's starting to get to be my kind of weather down here. I have not been on YouTube for a very long time. I haven't even been on here a year. My anniversary is coming up really soon. But something really has been on my mind lately. I started this YouTube adventure not knowing too much about YouTube. I think I posted a couple of things about the crickets back in New Jersey from my deck on the ocean. But I really was not a YouTube follower. I didn't have people that I followed on YouTube. But it just happened one day, my daughter told me about a woman who was over 60, and she was doing videos about a subject that was very close to my heart, being over 60. Because I can remember when I was 60 years old and I got More magazine and I got all of the fashion magazines. And when they had the best people for their ages, they would go 30s, 40s, 50s. And that's exactly where they always stopped. There was never anything for 60 women and over. And I thought to myself, my gosh, are we invisible? Hey, we're here. We're consumers. We're alive. We're so smart. We have gathered so much intelligence in our lives. We have gathered so many skills. Why are we, women especially, becoming invisible? And it really got me. It really did. So no matter what article that it would appear about women in their 30s, 40s, or 50s, they always stopped at 50s. And there was no mention whatsoever of women over 60. Well, in the years that I was 60, that eventually started to change a little bit. So that my daughter, knowing that subject was so close to my heart, that when she told me she found a woman called Margaret Manning on YouTube and I should check her out. So I went to my iPhone and I clicked on YouTube and I found 60 and Me and I found Margaret Manning. And she was doing daily chats with her tea about issues about being women who are over 50 and our thoughts and what we can do. It was really very interesting. They were short little videos, but it was very nice. And she would talk about basically when I watched her about things in the news, what was happening during the day. And I think she has evolved and made her YouTubes a little more diversified now, her channel, which is a very nice channel. But anyway, to get back to my original point, what I was saying, my daughter said, you know, Mother, that's your background. You've been in film and television your whole life. Why don't you put some of your angst out there and share some of your knowledge about what you've learned through these years and help women who are 60 and over survive? So I was a little, hesitant at first, but last November, I put out my first video introducing myself as a former romper room teacher and basically being over 60. Well, I'm closer to 80 now than I am 60. But that is how I really started on YouTube, one baby step at a time. But I really have learned a lot. I've not only learned a lot about myself, but I've learned a lot about you. I have learned so much about this mature women community. I can't tell you. When I started, I hadn't a clue that there was a community out there of wonderful mature women who would not only embrace me, but embracing all of the other YouTube channel creators in the mature woman group. So it has just warmed my heart to realize that there are so many of you out there who really are enjoying being over 60 or who are searching for answers about life and how to cope with this age group that we are in, and how to cope with the fact that still in reality, a lot of us are invisible, even though that is changing a little bit. I know that the recent scandals about Harvey Weinstein, and that certainly was my industry, and the hashtag MeToo, well, I've never put it up on Twitter, but I can add hashtag MeToo to my life. Because when I first started in television, it was on Romper Room, and that was a woman's place. There were only women romper room teachers, and I guess now maybe that's a little sexist, but then it was okay. But my next job was at a television station in the news department. And I remember the very first day that I walked into the newsroom, everybody greeted me, and it was a wonderful welcome of all the hard-nosed newspapermen that had evolved into television. But the first thing they asked me to do was not sit down and write a story or think of an idea for a story. It was, "Hi, could you make us a cup of coffee?" Well, trust me, it wasn't too much of a wake-up call for me. Because do you know what I did? I went into the little break room and I made coffee. But I make coffee. I poured half of the can into the filter. And I made coffee so strong that it almost took the hair off of their chests. And you know what? That was the very last time they ever looked at me as a woman and asked me to make the coffee in the morning. So we are smart, aren't we? We have learned through living, and we have learned to try to get respect and to get more respect for our place in this society. But every industry that I have worked in has been dominated by men. And when I was young, I had a lot of problems with hashtag MeToo. And I always felt that I had to be one step ahead of those men in order to keep my job, in order to keep my morality, in order not to cave in to their ridiculous macho society rules. I started in film when I was 50. So by then, according to most men, I was over the hill. So by that time, when I was in film and television as an actress, I really didn't have those problems. But I can remember, as a young woman, making my way in a field that was dominated by men. I had to be very smart, think on my feet, and to avoid all the sexual traps that were trying to ensnare me. So basically, what I am saying is, I am so grateful to be able to be in this mature woman community. I am so grateful that I am able to share what little life experience that I have had. And I am so grateful to share my friendship with all of you in this community. We are a village. We are a community. And we should stay strong with one another and help one another. In the last week, there have been a couple incidences where two of our YouTube mature women are suffering a bit. Little Poet is suffering over the loss of her dear friend Cooper, her sweet dog that was with her for 14 years. And our community friend Cindy of Palm Springs, Cindy, was mourning the loss of her sister-in-law. And I just felt it was so heartwarming the way our community came together to embrace both of these women and to let them know they're not alone and that we feel their pain and that we're standing strong with them. When I started this YouTube channel, I had absolutely no idea that this is what was going to evolve for me and for you. So I am delighted to be here. I am so happy that you are here with me, and I am pleased to be a part of this mature women community. It's been a great thing, and I think as the community grows, we can all stand together and help one another and all understand that life over 50 doesn't have to be bad. We don't have to think that we're old. We don't have to think that we are disposable and dispensable. And it just so happens that yesterday I got my first kind of hate comment. I've never had that before in all the time I've been on. But this person called me out saying, "Oh, you're not happy. You're over 60. You are mourning the fact that you don't have the body that you used to have and you weren't young as you used to have." Well, I've got news for that person. I am so happy. I feel so free. And I am so grateful every time I wake up in the morning and my feet hit the floor and I know that I'm going to have a beautiful day ahead of me. And I want you to feel that way too. Every single day you wake up, be so grateful that you not only have this community to look forward to, but you have your own life and you have great adventures ahead of you. It's not over after 60. That is my message today, and I hope that you will take everything I've said to heart and to stand strong and be so proud of who you are and so grateful that you have made it this far and that you are a part of our community and our village as well. I am so happy to have all of you with me. I hope you have a great, great week, and thank you for coming, and I hope to see you soon.